Hi everyone, right, okay, my name's Steve. I recently came across a house clearance that was going on in my neighbourhood, and the guys that were doing the house clearance let me actually into the flat that they were clearing, and I found a massive haul of Spectrum and Oric stuff, so I thought I'd show you it as a haul because it is massive. Yeah, okay, I'll start with the computer units. So I'm going to start off with, right, I've got two Oric ones, which look in fairly good nick physically. None of this has been tested. They all look like they're in one piece. No power supplies for the Orics, unfortunately. Nice little Cambridge sticker on the bottom there. This one seems to have a relatively low serial number of 13276. And here's another one. Yeah, this has got a higher serial number, 48k, lovely. Never really used Orics. Back in the 80s, when I was sort of getting into my, cutting my teeth on computer technologies, I remember there being one advertised in the spy shop down the road for £8, but I never got it. That was in 1986. So it'd be nice to see what these things can do. I also found this, which is an Oric Atmos, which I understand is quite rare. This was just these things were just lying around in this guy's bedroom. These rooms were just kind of full of so much stuff you wouldn't believe. But this Oric Atmos looks in good condition. Very nice. I'd like to see what this thing can do as well. Standard 9-volt supplies. Yeah, again serial number 253981. That's the Oric computers. And I've also managed to bag or get hold of 4 Spectrum 48Ks. There's one there, one here, another one here, which has got a ZX Interface 1 attached to it, without its back cover. So that'd be interesting to find out whether that works. So that's nice. Another Sinclair ZX Spectrum. Power supply here for this is ZX Spectrum, standard ZX Spectrum. It looks like one for either I think it's for the Plus or the 128, I'm not sure, but I didn't see any 128s in there, which is a bit of a shame, because it would have been nice to get hold of a 128. Solitaire game there, it was just in the box. And then I've got these tapes, which this looks nice because it's machine code. They're all kind of machine code assemblers, and there we go. Yeah. Machine code, super code, and ZX assembler. Nice tapes. There's a whole load of other tapes here. They all look to be kind of utility tapes. I don't think there are any games. There's a blank one there. I'm not sure what that is. Yeah, so I think they're all kind of utility doobies. There's M-coder there, M-coder 2, M-coder for the ZX81, which is like a machine code thing for the ZX81, and an M-coder 2 for the Spectrum. So that's nice to have both of those. We've got a Bricker, which sounds like a game I've never heard of before. Okay, this is some kind of headphone amp, some kind of self-assembled headphone amp kit. What else we've got here? We've got some more data sets. If anyone remembers the terminology back in the 80s, data sets. Yeah. Oh no, this is a combination cleaner and demagnetizer cassette. That's nice. Cleaning up your heads on your data recorder or your cassette recorder that you use to load and save games. There's a couple of cartridges here for the Sinclair micro drive, and I've got a few of these micro drive cassettes because in the haul I actually managed to get hold of 8 micro drive, well, 8 micro drives, yeah, 8 Sinclair micro drives, which are here. Or, as I say, none of this is tested as yet. I'm still just a bit astounded about the stuff that I actually managed to salvage, because it was all just getting chucked on a van. So that's 6, 7, and then 8. a load more of interfaces. There's a standard good old 16K RAM pack with the ZX81, and that's an actual Sinclair model, so that's nice. And then we've got two more ZX interface ones, which is nice. And then we've got the you've got your joystick and doobies, yeah, like that. Nice, lovely. Some more micro cartridges, some leads for the micro drives, some sort of data leads that go from, because I never use micro drives. And then we've got all these. We've got Mirage micro driver, which was I'm not sure what exactly actually, because I've never used micro drives. But there's a Mirage micro drive there, which is nice. Another interface. And then we've got two multi-face ones. Yeah, that's lovely. Multi-face ones from Romantic Robot. I'm sure they're the ones that made the Wriggler game actually, which I absolutely loved on the Spectrum. Two multi-face ones, one multi-face 1 to 8. Lovely, all in good nick. This one is interesting. This is a Micon or a MIDI-Con from XRI Systems that enables your Spectrum to process MIDI data and sync data for old drum machines from back in the day. So that's very nice. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what that can do. Yeah. And this thing, which is just a black box. I have no idea what this does. It's got no joystick ports or anything, so it doesn't tell me it's a Kempston interface or anything. It's just blank. We've then got your standard ZX printer with a nice sort of quite a lot of roll of thermal paper there that still looks good. And then we've got the Alphacom 32. Alphacom 32, again a thermal printer that doesn't use the silver paper like the Sinclair printer did. And then we've got this thing here, which is an Opus Discovery disk drive and kind of interface, which basically slotted into your standard 48K and gave it a good disk drive, 250K I think it was, with all these lovely interfaces around the side for your peripheral through connectors, printers, joystick connectors. So this looks like something really nice that I'd love to get working. I think there's a composite video there. Composite video connector goes in the back. So yeah, this just plugs into your computer, and then you've got a separate power supply, which is lovely. Okay, next up, we've done most of the hardware. Now, I also got hold of quite a few nice books on Spectrum. Is it, well, ZX Spectrum computing and Oric computing. Cracking the code on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. ZX Spectrum and how to get the most from it. 30-hour basic Spectrum edition. The computer program at BBC TV National Extension College. Okay. I've got 2 copies of Supercharge Your Spectrum, which is a really good book full of routines. How to get the most of like the ROM routines in your Spectrum. Brilliant. There's some stuff for the Oric Book of Games. Lovely. A nice games collection for the Spectrum. Lovely. Adventures for your Spectrum. Lovely. Step-by-step basic. Lovely. The Spectrum Handbook. Lovely. Machine code for beginners. I remember having this or ordering this from my local library when I was about 9 or 10, and I loved this book, so I'm pleased to have got a copy of this. That's nice. Yeah. Spectrum machine code. Yes. Ian Stewart. Yeah. There we go. Spectrum machine code. More games for your Oric. Lovely. Programming your ZX Spectrum. Quite obscure titles here. Oh, another one. Easy programming for the ZX Spectrum. Ian Stewart again. That's lovely. Spectrum Games. Yeah. Tim Hartnell, who was well known for his Spectrum books. Lovely. Spectrum Machine Language for the Absolute Beginner. Right, so we've got 2 copies of this, which is lovely. Spectrum Adventures. So that's nice. and 2 copies of 60 programs for, well, first off for the Oric and then for the Spectrum, and then putting your Spectrum to work. Ooh. And then games for the ZX Spectrum. Lovely. And we've got a hardback. We've got 2 hardbacks. We've got the complete Spectrum, which is nice. Nice big hardware, hardback book full of God knows what. Also, the Century Computer Programming Course. The complete guide to programming in Sinclair Basic using the ZX81 and Spectrum microcomputers. Nice hardback book. That's lovely. Some magazines. There's some interesting titles here. Well, we've got Practical Electronics. Got a few of these, which is nice. This looks like the synthesizer that uses the 764 chip, using the SN voice synthesizer. We've got Sinclair Programs, never heard of this one. Yep, Sinclair Projects, which is nice. So this looks like more hardware orientated projects for your Spectrum, so that's nice, good. Another Practical Electronics from 1974, I believe it is. Yep, 1974. We've got a nice copy of Your Sinclair. Lovely. And what edition is this then? Yeah, but yeah, Your Sinclair. What's this one? Another Your Sinclair. That's nice. Without its cover, unfortunately. Another copy. What's this? It's a copy of. Oh dear. What's this? Oh, right. The Best of Sinclair Programs. Spring Summer 1983. Ah, lovely. And miscellaneous. I got hold of Video Master Colour Score TV games, which is like the old Binatone kind of TV games, tennis, excuse me, tennis, football, that kind of thing. I had a look in the box. The box, excuse me for the bad camera. Well, the box is there, that's nice. We seem to have 2 controllers, which is lovely. 2 controllers, we've got the power supply, upside down power supply. Got all the controllers are there, so that's nice. I don't know what went in here, but as long as the controllers are there and the power supply is there, it means it all works. So that's fantastic. And this nice metal box. Well, this nice kind of aluminium box to go with it. Oh yeah, and this is what actually got me interested in what was on the lorry in the first place. And it's an old Atari 2600 by the looks of it. No cartridges or anything. Yeah, so all in all, I'm absolutely ecstatic about finding all this stuff. I can't actually believe it. So I'm going to do, first off, a test video after this, and then hopefully a repair video of repairing anything that might not work. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Thanks very much. What a fantastic haul. Thanks.